Okay, so next guy I'll move on to is a guy who I think is a little underrated, especially so down in Miami. That Derek Jeter group has done actually a very solid job, building a young talent. And what they've really dominated is pitching. But a guy who I think flies under the radar there, because I don't think he was this big top prospect, is Pablo Lopez. Last season, he had a 3.07 ERA in 20 games pitched. He struck out 27.5% of all batters faced, and he coupled that with a walk rate of only 6.2. So very good strikeout to walk numbers there. This one I think would cost a little more just because he's younger and he's barely headed into his first year of arbitration, and he's projected to make only less than $5 million. So he's going to be very cheap financially wise, and so that's why I think he's going to demand more prospect capital. I have the perfect guy to give up in that trade, which if I were them, I wouldn't really want to do it. But if you get another guy to fill another hole, I think in that same trade, I think it might work out. And so I trade Gavin Lux for Pablo Lopez, but only if we also get a bench piece who I really like in Garrett Cooper, who just smashes left-handed pitching.
Okay.
So something like that. So I think it might require a little more than Gavin Lux, but Miami at the very least is getting this young, athletic infielder/outfielder who's really fast, who's at least solid defensively, if not great, but he's so young that he can only get better at this point, you think? And the bat, he has some power. He has some attributes that are nice. He walks around league average, strikes out around league average too. And he was the number 2 overall prospect in baseball a couple years ago. So they're getting a high ceiling guy too in that, who's already had some major league playing time. So, and honestly, right now Miami has 0 bats aside from Cooper.
Yeah.
So, I think it's worth a risk for them, especially if they might even want to try him in that outfield. That might be a flyer, might be too much. If you're a Dodger fan, might be too little if you're in Miami. But Pablo Lopez is a guy that I really would take a look at. If not him, at least Garrett Cooper. Like I said, he smashes left-handed pitching. He can play first base in the outfield. He's just another depth piece, a really high-quality depth piece. He played in only 71 games, so 250 plate appearances. But he slashed 284, 380, 465 for an 845 OPS. And in 2019, it was 281, 344, 446 slugging for 791 OPS. So definitely above league average. Let me read these left-hand splits, though, just to get you more enticed about this guy, because this is where he makes the money. Over 71 plate appearances, which is very limited, but over 71 plate appearances, he had 344, 408, 563 for a 971 OPS. So really good against left-handed pitching. As much as we need starting pitching, we also need a few more offensive pieces. If you're not going to sign a guy, maybe a low-key trade for Garrett Cooper, a guy similar like Trey Mancini from Baltimore, maybe something like that would work out for the Dodgers. He's also not a free agent until 2024. So yeah, maybe there's going to be some prospect capital they're giving up, but it'd be a trade that I would kind of explore.
All right. So the next guy I was going to explore was Josh Bell. Now, this is someone who put up a pretty good season, especially after the All-Star break. With 277, 381 on base, I believe, 506 slugging, with 15 home runs and 46 RBIs in 71 games. So
it's good. That's really good. Yeah, I do remember he was having a hot second half. I don't recall it being that good, but wow. But then the first half, it was very mediocre, right?
Yeah, it was. Because his overall stats for the season, 261 bat average, 347 on base, 476 slugging. So he definitely did step it up in the second half.
Overall solid.
Yeah.
But I think, maybe you are getting two different players there, maybe. One thing I do see about him is he doesn't strike out that much. He's got some really good plate discipline too. So he's got some nice tools too, and he's always hit the ball really hard. So
yeah,
maybe.
That's why I was thinking. As a power bat, I think he would be really good to have on the bench. He would be a good depth piece.
He's a switch hitter too. That's cool.
True. Very true. Yes, that's definitely a bonus point right there. Also, in his last year of arbitration, so he is a logical trade chip for a rebuilding team. I mean, it seems like the Nationals are.
It seems like it, but I don't think they're thinking it is. I think they're still going into the season thinking they might have a shot. So maybe he's not a winner pickup, but maybe if they are falling out of contention by July, definitely he's a guy who'd be a very interesting piece to add. Who knows? Maybe Minaj. Hello, Minashito. Minaj,
okay,
you're alive. I was worried there.
Zoom's giving me a message. It says my internet connection's unstable.
His internet connection is unstable. It's more stable than Ginormous, though. You can take comfort in knowing that.
True. Very true.
Oh yeah. Oh, so what I was saying. So maybe he's a more trade deadline pickup if that's our contention, and who knows? Maybe we might even get Juan Soto in that trade. You know, it's another dead piece. You know, just as bench piece.
Very true.
He'd be a solid pickup there. Nothing too fancy.